You guys know about like the Hotep phenomena where there's this like group of crazy black people who think like Abraham Lincoln was black, Karl Marx was black, Vladimir Lenin was black, Washington was black. Like they think everyone was black basically. And white society is covering it up. You know what I mean? I'm black. Yeah. I thought that was just a meme. Well, they're not a huge group of people, but they exist. Yeah, they mostly obsess over Egypt. You know, if ever you see like a painting of a black person in like Egyptian uh garb, there's like a 98% chance the person posting it is making it's some conspiracy thing about you know how blacks conquered all the world and then the whites came and Yakub and the whole nine yards. You know Yakub, the evil black scientist who was evil so they made white people? That's how evil they were. You've seen him with the big brain, right? This is like classic Hotep mythology right here. This guy, I love this drawing so much. Only a guy with a brain like this would be evil enough to create white people. It's like Megamind, you know? Actually, remaking Megamind, except with this guy as Megamind, would be very. He gets like 4,000 years ago. He gets like adopted by black prisoners in black Egyptian prison, and they're showing him like pictures of black people say with like evil, and then white people saying like good or whatever, or pasty people because white people didn't exist yet because he hadn't invented them. I don't know. Um, is there a lore to this Hotep shit? I think there's like 17 lores. Look, the point that I'm laboriously getting at here is that there's like a cult of really dedicatedly pro black people, and by pro black I mean this in the loosest possible sense, right? I mean pro black in the same way that a lot like racist white people are pro white. They're not actually like pro white. They're just you know weird. They do this historical like canonization, this recasting, and the thing that frustrates me a little bit, and other people have brought this up. I'm not the first to bring this up, but one of the things that frustrates me is like there are actually a lot of really powerful and important black historical figures that we don't know anything about because they don't get talked about, right? Like and as a consequence of that, when we look back at discourse on powerful black people throughout history, we get like conspiracy shit. And I feel like it kind of devalues the prominence and the importance of black people historically if um if we're always like debating over these like dubious historical claims rather than celebrating the extent to which they actually exist. I mean, how much do we even yeah, like okay, so Mansa Musa. Where did you guys first learn about Mansa Musa? Cuz I learned about him from like Civilization 4, I think. What about like Ethiopia resisting European colonization? I swear to God, I learned about that in college, I think. Like the Zulu, the Nubians, I feel like I never learned about any of this and even like the most basic history courses, right? From Hearts of Iron 4. Okay, got well, there you go. There you go, guys. From Hearts of Iron 4, of course. But that's kind of like weird, right? You know, it's a narrative thing as well because I don't know that much about like ancient Chinese history. I think in high school maybe like a couple of things would have been covered from like the Silk Road. But the difference with Chinese people is that nobody doubts the historical canon of Chinese people. I'm sure there's some kind of like very special East Asian racism where there's like some group of people who think that actually, I don't know, like the Tibetans did everything. I don't know, but for the most part, it's pretty well regarded that Chinese people have done things and been around for a while. But over here in America, the reason we have the term African American, which is kind of like a distinct term, here in America, the way we refer to black people or black Americans, is because when we brought over all the slaves, we kind of destroyed their history. And a lot of black Americans don't even know where in Africa their great, great, great something or others would have come from, which means that, we kind of like cut the threads, and a lot of black people here in America had to kind of start over when it came to sort of historical canon or any kind of legacy or culture, which I don't think on its own that your like ancestors and your culture from an ethnic perspective are important. I think it's up to you as an individual to decide how much you want to let that, I don't know, kind of guide your decision making. Um, but to make that choice for millions of people, you know, it's going to cause a kind of cultural whiplash, and a lot of black Americans are going to kind of, I don't know, reach out and look for things to identify with, things to gesture at and go, okay, well, see, there is some kind of continuity here, some kind of legacy. And you know, obviously this doesn't always get taken in the right direction. So you know, you see the Hotep stuff, for example. I don't know, I just feel like it'd be kind of cool to elevate some like, oh, okay, we had a blockbuster movie, the Marvel movie Black Panther, about black Africans, and they had to make up a country to do it. You know? Like every other Marvel whatever that gets set around the world is in countries that actually exist. But then it's like, okay, well, we need an advanced African country, a thing so unbelievable that it has to be fictitious and hidden by a cloak. You know, and then they make Wakanda. It's like, okay, well, I know they're pulling from the comics here or whatever, but I feel like we had a set, you know, like, okay, we're setting this big blockbuster movie in Africa. That's pretty rare for a Hollywood movie. But then it's in like fake, not real Africa. It's in a fake country that admittedly draws inspiration from African countries that really do exist, but still, you know. Um, you guys get what I'm getting at here, right? There was a made up East European country. Is that true? Wait, for Age of Ultron, wasn't that in a real? Was that a real one? Oh, Civil War had a fake European country. Okay, okay. Latveria. No, wait, isn't that the Doctor Doom one? Is Latveria the Doctor Doom one? Sokovia. That was it. Wait, Sokovia. That's it. The Sokovia Accords. I remember. Former landlocked country in Central Southeastern Europe. Well, to be fair, the way the Balkans are, we don't actually know if this country exists. Do you know? You know, I saw a map of the Balkans relatively recently, but things could have changed like in between now and then. I don't know. Maybe Sokovia exists. You get what I'm getting at, though, right? Yeah, Sokovia could exist now. It might not exist by the time you look it up. Who knows? Marvel Wiki says it's between Slovakia and Czechia. That's not Balkans. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're doing the between Slovakia and Czechia. That's not Balkans. We're doing the Zizek meme. And to the French,